Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 148 based on novel. So let's start. There are a total of 9 pictures in the 9 universe tablet. The first raindrop picture has 9 drops, every 2 drops have different meanings behind them. As Luo Feng was immersed in the 108 words, he constantly compared his mental notes of the words to the tablet. These 108 words, there are 9 words that resound with the raindrop picture. These 9 words, just like the 9 drops, Luo Feng could feel that their meanings were seemingly identical. These 9 words had complex strokes, causing him to feel 9 blade forms. Profound. As Luo Feng studied the 9 words more, he felt it get more and more profound. Every blade form was a texture of the universe space itself. Every blade form seemed to explain a certain essence of the universe space itself. Even though its surface meaning resounded between the 9 words and the 9 drop picture, deducing and comprehending had a huge difference. Even people who didn't understand English, looking at 2 similar letters in different words, one could still discern them. However, to actually learn the entire language was tens of thousands of times harder than simply identifying letters. Luo Feng was like this currently. As Luo Feng stood on this balcony, immersed in these words, within that wrist space, Barbata was bored and sighed. Madness. What space origin laws are there within? Even the teacher before, when he became an undying, he didn't study the essence of universe space that deeply. This Lian Luo is indeed a number 1 of the genius battle from a trillion years ago. Geniuses indeed, they do things at another level. Comprehending the space law, it needn't be that complex. Just like how many people on Earth learn the computer, they learn how to use the program word, they only learn the usage methods. Simply using was enough. However, Lian Luo back then actually explained the essence of the universe space, even using 108 words to express it. Just like learning the word program, this Lian Luo didn't simply learn how to use it, but explain the entire program and how it worked, explaining how the program was written. Explaining the essence. Comprehending the universe origin law was the same, though still in the midst of comprehending allowed the warriors to understand how to get better, and to realize what was right. Hence, borrowing the feeling from these principles, allowed them to unleash their attacks infused with the laws, hence the power increases drastically. However, those feelings, they were regarded as mysterious. If people questioned, they had no way to actually explain. They could only exclaim, you can only experience, you can't pass on simply through words. Wrong. It was bullshit that it couldn't be passed by word. It wasn't that it couldn't be passed by word, only that many strong warriors and even undying hadn't fully comprehended clearly the essence. Naturally they said it was unclear. Just like the Mosha clan, it blends with space itself. Maybe their battle strength was intrepid and a blur. However, in terms of comprehending the space laws themselves, the Mosha clan was similar to the Earth human body. True Yang Emperor is indeed a being close to the universe country leader, making Luo Feng come study the essence of space itself. It is indeed a very precise path. Barbata was very clear, because he had witnessed the master of the Yunmo planet, Hu Yangbo's entire training process. The initial period was fast. However, the further back he went, the harder it got. The further he went, the more he felt the space origin laws got more and more profound, harder to see it clearly. If from the beginning, he had studied the essence of the universe space laws itself, slowly studying, the start may have been slower. However, towards the end, the improvement speed would be faster and faster. Barbata exclaimed softly, no wonder, even though the boss used a trillion years, he barely had the strength of an official. And this Lian Luo didn't even take 100,000 years, yet the moment he became undying he was immediately given the title official. Difference. When I unleash my movement, with a move I'm able to produce over 20 images. However, as to why I'm able to produce these images, I don't fully understand. Luo Feng studied for a while, beginning to feel his mental state grow weary as he immersed himself in the study. He couldn't help but exclaim, at least now I understand a little. Only a little. However, just understanding that little bit made him shocked. Barbata, how long have I been studying? Luo Feng asked. A little more than 18 days, Barbata replied. Over half a month, and I only understood a little bit of the first form. Luo Feng was shocked within. This comprehension of the origin laws, when compared to studying the essence itself, obviously had a different level of difficulty. At my current speed, how long would it take me to study the first form? It's a pity, I don't have the floating blood manual. These 108 words were after all just words. The floating blood manual was the true training method left behind by Lian Luo. If he had the manual, Luo Feng was confident that the studying process would definitely be much faster. Just 800 points. Luo Feng gritted his teeth. Luo Feng, just passing the first heavenly bridge, wouldn't that give you 1,000 points? I know. Luo Feng shook his head, however my current self doesn't have enough guarantee to pass the first level. These few days, at least the previous study session of the 9-universe tablet he had almost fully digested. His understanding of the space law was deeper now, and if he unleashed the sky heavenly formation, its power would be much greater. He may win, but he didn't have full confidence. If only I can fully comprehend the first form. 9 golden blades, with this first feeling as the link, can form one complete perfect form. Its power would definitely be absurd. Luo Feng's first study, he finally began to understand what benefits that first form was going to add to him. Luo Feng looked into the distant primal chaos city. After training for so long, my mental state is weary. I'll head outside the city to take a look. Previously, the black-robed receiver said there were 3 treasures. This third treasure had a stone tablet outside explaining. Luo Feng knew himself that at his current state, he couldn't continue studying. Hence he headed directly to the entrance of the city. Just what was this third treasure? The first treasure was the primal universe's obvious revolving origin laws. The second was the 52 primal chaos tablets. The third, just what was it? Primal chaos city, within an ancient mansion that was extremely huge. Go out. The ape man waved his hand. Yes, teacher. About 10 undyings below, sector lords, they all bowed respectfully and left the mansion. That Luo Feng actually didn't buy the floating blood manual. Truyang Emperor sat in the chair frowning. Simultaneously part of his consciousness communicated with his AI. He's a member of the absolute beginning region. He should have been awarded 10,000 points. What? He used it all right at the beginning. From his AI, he found out that Luo Feng had used all of his 10,000 points. Truyang was speechless. He actually bought a illusionary manual. Truyang Emperor shook his head. His current strength definitely has no need to buy the illusionary manual. He should buy a more basic technique. What's suitable is the most apartment. This little punk actually used all his points straight away. That's really. Truyang Emperor frowned. How troublesome. Lian Luo, that sick genius. Back then he still took a few tens of thousands of years to explain the 108 forms. This explanation of the origin law essences is much harder than simply comprehending, especially since it tests one's intelligence, temperament, and also his level of comprehension. Unless one is an absolute genius, it's hard to study it. From the beginning, one would begin to comprehend the essence of the space origin law, and in the future, his achievements would be high. This point, from the absolute beings within the 1008 universe countries, who didn't know. However, even after knowing, this method still wasn't spread wide. Mainly because the requirements on one's temperament, intelligence, space comprehension, these were extremely and absurdly high. One first had to have a high comprehension of space. If one couldn't even feel the space laws, how could he study deeper? As for intelligence and temperament, one had to maintain his state and calmness while studying. The moment one gets fickle and impatient, one would lose a lot of the work he's done. Temperament was very important. Just thinking about it one would know. And this level of comprehending the universe space origins, comprehension was even more important. Walking this path, to many strong warriors would only waste away long periods of time. That Lian Luo, number 1 in the genius battle, also required tens of thousands of years. Someone with lesser talent and intelligence, like Jiang Mo, Ari Chen, and Wu Ke, that level, one would require millions of years. And those other normal geniuses would waste away their entire sector lord 1,000 eras and not succeed. Even though these 30 years in Primal Chaos City are very important to him. However, making him feel some loss, wasting a few years is fine. Truyang Emperor shook his head. Let him remember for the long term, understand that some valuable items and stuff shouldn't be used completely before understanding their full uses for the future. Truyang Emperor didn't think more about it. Even though he was paying attention to Luo Feng, it was mostly only due to him picking the same path and sect. Just hinting him slightly was enough. That all, he wasn't involved enough to help or do anything for him. Luo Feng currently wasn't worth him doing anything. Primal Chaos City, with walls that went on forever. The doors opened and several warriors left or entered. Luo Feng too followed the door and headed out. Where's the stone tablet? Luo Feng stood at the entrance, looking at the continuous walls that extended forever, engulfed in the chaos energy. Suddenly, he spotted on the left there was an incredibly huge stone tablet. On it were scribbles of universe language words. At the top wrote the third treasure of Primal Chaos City. Primal Chaos Spirit. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The contents of the stone tablet was roughly: Primal Chaos Spirit. When a universe is in its primal state, the primal universe will naturally produce peculiar beings. These beings have peculiar appearances. They are currently called Primal Chaos Beasts. These beasts have different levels of strength. They are all proficient in different origin laws, some more so than others. Killing the Primal Chaos Beasts, their bodies will decay into large amounts of chaos energy, and a dark green light will be produced. This dark green light is where their core lies. They don't have souls, only a life light. This light has been named as Primal Chaos Spirit. As long as one absorbs this Primal Chaos Spirit into their bodies, one's soul will naturally absorb it, and with absorption, their soul will slightly change, melding better with the universe space. Luo Feng. A voice caused Luo Feng to turn, before he finished reading the entire tablet. The distant savage Rong Jun descended from mid-air, immediately landing on the ground and walking barefooted to Luo Feng, smiling. Ha ha. I haven't seen you around these past days. Are you getting ready to head out to hunt the Primal Chaos Beasts? However, you have to be careful. Just from hunting these Primal Chaos Beasts, we've already lost a few from our batch. What? Luo Feng was shocked. You said we've lost a bunch from our batch. Rong Jun shook his head. When I first found out, my reaction was similar to yours. However, after heading outside and hunting the Primal Chaos Beasts, I didn't find it weird anymore. Also, do you remember? When we first took the universe ship and came over to the Primal Universe, that knight also said those words. Luo Feng recalled the scene and nodded. I remember. Back then the green armored purple-scaled man had sent the 1,000 geniuses here, saying, you are all under me. I hope to see all of you alive in 30 years. When he had first heard it, Luo Feng had guessed there would be some dangers within Primal Chaos City. However, when he had studied within the city for a while, he felt it was very safe. The feeling was simply a sacred land for warriors to study and train. The city forbids any humans killing each other. Anyone who kills another would face certain death. Even if he just made a move and didn't kill, he would face severe punishment. And even looking at the large amounts of warriors training on the balconies, feeling the ancient energies revolving, there wasn't any sense of danger. It's very dangerous. Rong Jun emphasized. Don't get careless. Those beasts aren't easy to deal with. Of the 1,000 geniuses that came this time, they were all awarded by the Virtual Universe Company with gold prizes, and the lowest amount was 10 mixed elements. Their points were enough to exchange for valuable things too. Who doesn't have trump cards? Luo Feng frowned and nodded. Things weren't looking good. The geniuses were all not easy to deal with, yet they had already lost a few of them. The Primal Chaos Spirits were good things, yet they weren't easy to acquire. The most important thing is they have numbers. Even if you bring a powerful weapon, an advanced universe ship, however, if you are careless and get surrounded, you'll be killed instantly. Rong Jun emphasized. I'll warn you, be more prudent and careful. This is reality, not the virtual universe network. The moment you die, it's over. Luo Feng held his breath. Watching Rong Jun leave, Luo Feng was startled and shaken by Rong Jun's earlier words. He turned to continue reading the stone tablet. The more the soul melds with the universe, then comprehending the universe origin laws will get clearer and easier. When a sector lord becomes undying, that's when the soul itself undergoes change. And absorbing the primal chaos spirit is a slow gradual change. The scope of change is small. An undying soul is already eternal. Absorbing the chaos spirit is ineffective. These spirits only have an effect on those below the undying level. Important note 1. Undyings are forbidden from making a move on the beasts. 2. The primal chaos beasts have low intelligence. They've already been separated by the strong warriors in Primal Chaos City into 3 regions. The first region is the closest to the city, about 2,000 kilometers area away from the city walls. They are all universe-level primal chaos beasts. This has been called the internal region. The second region is from the 2,000 kilometers mark to the 10,000 kilometers area. This is the middle region. There the beasts are all domain lord level. The third region is the outermost region. There the beasts are sector lord level. Primal chaos beasts, their strengths are from the universe level to the sector lord level. The moment there are any undying level beasts, Primal Chaos City will send out strong warriors to eliminate them. 3. Domain Lord level warriors can only kill beasts within the middle region, they are forbidden from entering the internal region. Sector Lords are only allowed to hunt in the outer region, they are forbidden from entering the internal and middle region. Finishing the details of the tablet, Luo Feng was silent. Damn. It's obviously for nurturing the later generation. Barbata shouted, these primal chaos beasts have already been separated into 3 regions. With primal chaos city's strength, they can easily kill all the beasts immediately, however they didn't, and bred them. And the domain lords can only hunt in the middle region, sector lords outer region, obviously the internal region is left for you all. Luo Feng nodded. Primal Chaos City was the sacred land of humanity in the universe. Here, almost everything was arranged to train the generations of warriors, allowing humanity to evolve and strengthen. Allowing the youths to risk dangers and hunt the beasts, obviously this was for training the later generations. Staying safe would mean there would be limits in growth, even though Primal Chaos City's 30 years was rather safe. Having some sense of danger was a good thing. It was good for nurturing the young. Primal Chaos Beasts. Luo Feng's thoughts moved and a dark red armor extended and formed a helmet, covering his entire body in the cloud contact vine armor, revealing only his eyes. Let's take a look, just what it's about. Dressed in the dark red armor, Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle and carried the dark golden long rod on his back. The chaos energy revolved about, making it impossible for one to see too far with the naked eye. In the vast wasteland, weeds were growing everywhere, this wasteland that had been here for who knows how long, even the nameless weeds and plants, along with the rubble, they were all made up of special properties, nurtured in the chaos energy over long periods of time, they all had the same special point. No matter how long, they would never decay. Luo Feng carefully moved forward. His ears moved, immediately lowering himself and hiding behind a stone, carefully looking ahead. In the distant weeds, a black silhouette walked out. This was a 3m tall ape-like being, his body bent, his hands landing on the ground. Except for white fur on his face, there was only one vertical brown eye and a mouth, no nose or ears, its tail waved high and moved about. What's its strength? Luo Feng communicated to Barbata mentally. No idea, there's no such primal chaos beast in the real universe, hence the energies it is emitting. I'm unable to gauge just what level of strength it's at. Barbata said. Ah. Luo Feng nodded. The ape-like beast that was running in the distance, its tail high in the sky like lightning rod, suddenly stopped, violently turning to look in Luo Feng's direction. That single eye seemed enraged and filled with killing intent. Rumble, the tail violently swayed. The beast immediately became a beam of light heading towards Luo Feng, its huge palms grabbing at him. Go. Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle. As he retreated, he controlled with his thoughts. 9 golden lights shot out from behind him. Simultaneously 6 of them shot towards the approaching beast. Howl, the ape-like beast waved its tail again, creating an image and actually dodging 3 of the golden blades. Dang. 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 3 clashes, with a wave of its claws, it knocked away 3 of Luo Feng's golden blades. As the blades were knocked away. Heavenly blade formation. Luo Feng frowned. Immediately the surroundings golden energy rippled together. The 9 blades floated and formed a blade domain, compared to the one on the heavenly bridge before. The blade domain now was obviously more organized and tighter. At least it didn't have blade energy dispersed in all directions anymore. Right now it was more condensed and controlled. With the glaring golden rainbow, one of the golden blades pierced forward, bringing with it the countless condensed blade energy, and the domain behind it, piercing towards the beast. Howl. The beast let out a struggled howl and its furry tail waved as he accelerated to flee, as though he felt a terrifying force was attacking him. However, how could his running speed match up to the Nanshan armament's attack? Rumble. The beast that couldn't flee in time used both hands to clash with the blade rainbow. With a huge clash, the beast's thick arms were smashed open, golden blood spewed out, blood and bone flew in all directions, and the golden blade rainbow immediately pierced right through its head. Rumble, this ape-like beast immediately fell on the floor. Simultaneously, its golden blood and flesh etc. began to decay quickly, becoming chaos energy. A dark green light floated up from the corpse. Primal chaos spirit. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, using some spirit energy to wrap around and retrieve the light. When his spirit energy touched the spirit began to meld with his spirit energy. Spirit energy is mental energy, and the spirit is large amounts of this formed together. It isn't strange that spirit energy is able to absorb the primal chaos spirit. Luo Feng took the remaining spirit and absorbed it into his internal core. None of his 3 bodies were the true core, the internal core was the true center. Rumble. The surrounding energies violently tremored. Howl. Howl. Bent bodies appeared one after another, their faces with white fur and that single eye, similar to the primal chaos beast before. They jumped out from the weeds as fast as lightning. With one glance, there were at least a few hundred of them. Some of their energies. Some were obviously even stronger than the one earlier. Not good. Luo Feng didn't even think about fighting back. A silver-white pyramid automaton ship appeared in mid-air, however the primal chaos beasts were simply too fast. A dark red vine extended around Luo Feng's surface, tens of thick vines fiercely extended towards the large group of beasts rushing over. Rumble, the tall and huge leader of the group, was whipped by the vines. He spit out fresh blood, but was still alive. Luo Feng rushed into the automaton ship and shut the cabin door. Rumble, outside the group of beasts, were madly attacking the walls of the ship. However, this was an E-grade automaton ship. It wasn't something these beasts, that were at most universe level 9, could deal with. I understand now how a group of geniuses, all of them having ships, with large amounts of wealth, able to acquire powerful laser weapons, Gatling guns, how they could still die. Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief. If it wasn't for the automaton ship, with the cloud contact vine, he may have still gotten away, but it would have been difficult. Hunting the primal chaos beasts, yes, hunting. Just like hunters, quietly, killing in an instant, absorbing the spirit, and immediately distancing oneself from the scene. Luo Feng thought, when it let out its howl to attract its companions earlier, I shouldn't have fought on, but fleet immediately. In the air above Primal Chaos City, a silver-white pyramid automaton ship appeared in mid-air, following which the ship vanished and Luo Feng descended into the city from above. However, no one seemed to care about this scene at all. In the Black Dragon Mountain star field, the automaton ship was rare and extremely valuable. However, to those in Primal Chaos City, the sacred land of training for the entire humanity in the universe, the Undyings here, most of them had wealth beyond that of Huyangbo. An automaton ship was simply too common. Luo Feng landed on his own balcony. Primal Chaos Spirit, Luo Feng frowned, clearly feeling the core within. Within that core, Luo Feng's soul essence had formed a whirlpool galaxy, revolving slowly. The glaring and dreamy whirlpool had a total of 8 spiral arms. Back when he first reached the universe level 1, this whirlpool galaxy had one little black domain, a tiny black hole. And now, the golden horned beast had already reached universe level 9. Naturally, the core of his soul also reached universe level 9. The soul essence which had reached universe level 9, the whirlpool galaxy, now had a large black hole, and each of the 8 spiral arms had their own little black hole. They all gradually swallowed the star dust around. In the center of the black hole were 8 mini black holes. The formation of these 9 black holes represented the universe level 9, and for the universe level 9 to break through to the domain lord level, it required the 9 black holes to completely swallow the galaxy within, creating an absolute change. Universe level to domain lord level. This change was very difficult. A dark green light landed within the whirlpool, and was swiftly dragged in, immediately swallowed by the center black hole. In the outer regions of the whirlpool galaxy, where it couldn't reach, mist engulfed the areas, engulfing the entire galaxy. A little change happened within the galaxy too. There's change. Luo Feng closed his eyes, his mind calm as still water, feeling the origin laws ripple within. In terms of ripples, the golden horned beast felt the ripples of the gold origin laws more clearly. The Mosha clan felt the space origin laws more clearly. The earth body felt both ripples. Both were blurry to him, as though there was a heavy mist surrounding them. At this time, improvement, there's improvement. Luo Feng revealed a look of excitement. Within that internal space where the vast golden continent was. Just like a black mountain, the golden horned beast raised its head and let out a happy howl. Beside, the black-clothed Luo Feng that had produced almost 1,000 images also stopped and shouted excitedly, "They've all improved." Yes. The 3 bodies all felt the origin law ripples a little clearer now. The golden horned beast could feel the gold laws clearer, mainly because its horn, neck, body, wings, tail, claws were all covered in golden engravings. These engravings resounded with the universe itself and the gold origin laws, hence the golden horned beast naturally fit the golden origin laws better. One theory. The Mosha clan body, with the 10,081 surfaced crystal with golden engravings rippling, communicating with the universe space laws, even resonating with space itself, it not only improved its comprehension of the space laws, even when it unleashed it, its power was much greater. The 3 bodies had one soul core. The soul core was undergoing change now. Naturally, all 3 bodies improved simultaneously. The soul core within was undergoing change. Just like the earth body's consciousness and spirit, the Mosha clan's life crystal changed too. The core soul was something all 3 shared. It was also the core of the 3 bodies. The moment it evolved, all 3 would improve. If the core was unharmed, even if any of the 3 bodies was destroyed, it could be rebuilt, and even if all 3 were destroyed, as long as the core was fine, it could still keep producing the 3 bodies endlessly. This was one of its natural abilities, however it had its pros and cons. The moment the core was destroyed, even if all three bodies were trillions of li apart, they would all die simultaneously. This was Luo Feng's life gate. Good stuff, it actually evolved my spirit, indeed the third treasure of Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. From the student level to the sector lord level, the soul constantly gets stronger, its essence itself doesn't evolve. Only from sector lord level to undying will there be an absolute evolution. Right now, using this primal chaos spirit, one can actually preempt that evolution. Even though the amount of evolution itself isn't big, however with more quantity, the benefits are still huge. Luo Feng was incredibly excited. In terms of battle strength, his earth body was the weakest. The Golden Horned Beast and the Mosha clan bodies were the true killers. Obviously this soul evolution had great benefits to those two. Come on. Primal Chaos Beasts. Luo Feng's eyes blazed with fire. Such a treasure, if he didn't get more of it, it would be such a waste. Luo Feng once again walked out of Primal Chaos City, and into the wasteland engulfed in chaos energy. The chaos energy covers everything here. All the scanning and signal devices are all affected. Otherwise, I could rely on Barbata's scanning system. Luo Feng thought, if one could scan his surroundings, so many geniuses wouldn't have died. These scanning devices, I wonder if they don't work, because we are in the primal universe, or because the management of Primal Chaos City willed it this way. Luo Feng was suspicious, but he didn't think much about it. No matter, he had to rely on himself to kill the beasts. 5 minutes later, half squatting in the grass patch, carefully staring at a distant beast. This was an extremely huge primal chaos beast, with a body of about 30 meters long, like a hill slowly moving. Its skin on its head was shiny, almost like an alloy. Also there were 2 curved horns on its head, its eyes completely white. Only the center had pupils the size of little green beans. Its gaze was ice cold, its thick strong hoofs slowly stomping on the ground, the ears erect, obviously on alert and ready. From its aura, it shouldn't be stronger than that first ape beast I first met. Luo Feng squatted in the grass patch, his gaze cold, heavenly blade formation. Form behind, the dark golden long rod immediately shot out 81 beams of golden light, every 9 of them swiftly combining together, and forming 1 kai-long golden blades. The 9 golden blades swiftly rose up, and the rippling golden energy immediately formed the blade domain. Rumble. The golden rainbow shot towards that huge primal chaos beast's head. Howl. The beast fiercely turned its head and immediately let out an enraged roar, quickly lowering its head to use its sharpest point on its body, its horns to clash with the golden rainbow. The golden blade infused with absolute power from the blade domain arced a little and brushed the horns, immediately piercing through the head of the beast. That alloy-like head portion was extremely solid, with kai-kai sounds coming from the blade. The golden blade finally barely managed to pierce in, and with another kai sound, pierced out from between its eyes. Rumble, the huge beast crumbled onto the ground, following which the dark green spirit rose up, and its body swiftly decayed into large amounts of chaos energy. Xiao. Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle, using his spirit energy to wrap around the primal chaos spirit, and vanished far away. Several seconds later. Rumble. About 10 huge primal chaos beast, all like thunder itself causing the land to tremor, came running over. However, in these few seconds, Luo Feng had already fled a few 100 kilometers away. A few 100 kilometers away. Hiding behind some rubble, feeling the comfortable feeling of his soul core absorbing the primal chaos spirit, Luo Feng smiled. Very good. I'll hunt the beast like that. I'll at most attack a couple of times, and whether I succeed or not, I'll immediately flee. And fighting against these beasts allows me to test my comprehension levels too. It began. The period of hunting the primal chaos beasts had begun. As he hunted, Luo Feng realized that even though the stone tablet had said that this internal region's beasts were all universe level, in truth, over 60% of them were universe level 1, the rest were universe level 2 to 9, all proficient in several origin laws. The only weakness was their low intelligence. Just like several of Earth's animals that hadn't evolved, simpler traps alone were enough to make them fall in. During the hunting process, he occasionally bumped into universe level 9 beasts. Luckily the cloud contact vine was universe level 9, effects of the long periods of usage of the swelling water fruit. Otherwise he would have been in much more danger. After 3 months since his hunting began. 2 golden blades fusing, so it's this way. While unleashing the blade domain, Luo Feng finally succeeded in fusing one blade behind another, golden threads weaving through the both of them, forming a dreamy huge golden blade. This blurry huge golden blade, with the power of the blade domain, had terrifying power. Immediately killed 1 primal chaos beast. Universal. Link. That one body feeling, Luo Feng remembered that mysterious feeling. He couldn't explain it clearly. Naturally he understood. The reason he couldn't explain it was simply because he hadn't fully grasped the essence of the universe space law itself. He was studying the floating blood 108 words first blade form, and he only got a little bit of it. Even though he had yet to fully grasp it, at least he could use it now. I'll first unleash it. As for understanding the essence, I'll take it slowly. Luo Feng was incredibly excited. I can now fuse two blades together. These two blades, with the help of the blade domain, I should be able to beat the Heavenly Bridge level 1's 3 blades fusing right. Even though the enemy fused 3 blades together, he didn't use a blade domain. No rush. My power may still not be enough, hence he didn't use the blade domain. Luo Feng wasn't rushed at all. The 30 years in Primal Chaos City was for him to work on his basics. There was no need to rush, being grounded was the best. 8 months later. 3 blades into 1. Luo Feng, who was constantly testing himself against the Primal Chaos beasts, as to how to use his comprehension of the origin laws and transfer it into the Nanshan armament, he was understanding it clearer after time, and now he could control that mystical feeling before and combine 3 blades perfectly, forming a terrifying power. Virtual Universe, Heavenly Bridge. On the island, dressed in a black star robe, the watchman Bevan looked shocked at the white-robed blood blade youth. 3rd level. Bevan looked shocked at the youth before him. When the batch of 1,000 geniuses had first arrived, this Bolan had already cleared 2 levels at one go. This was already extremely rare within the history of Primal Chaos City. It hadn't even been a year, and now he's returned. Bolan nodded. Go on, I wish you success. The watchman Bevan smiled. Sue. The white-robed youth Bolan immediately headed towards the side of the island, heading to an endless bridge, of which 2 words on a stone tablet was shown there. Universe. The 52 Primal Chaos tablets reflected the 52 bridges, of which the huge axe bridge had 32 levels, the highest, and the Universe Heavenly Bridge had 30 levels, ranked number 2. As for the 9 Universe, it has 27 levels, also amongst the highest, enough to rank in the top 5. The lowest bridge had 21 levels. In terms of level numbers, it didn't mean much. As long as one could pass 21 levels, he could already become a powerful universe country leader. Luo Feng's group of geniuses, will there be one capable of becoming a universe country leader? Sue. Bolan rushed towards the bridge. After a while, the watchman Bevan revealed a shocked expression. He successfully passed. It's only been that long in Primal Chaos City, and he actually passed the 3rd level. Even though it was said that the initial improvements were easy, it would get harder and more profound later. Bolan was simply sick. Of the other geniuses from that batch, Rong Jun had passed the 1st level. The rest had all failed, yet Bolan actually passed the 3rd level. Within the warriors training in Primal Chaos City, which formed the 52 sects, most of them had chosen the path of the huge axe, because many with backgrounds knew that this particular tablet was from the founder of the huge axe dojo. And amongst the 52 tablets, the huge axe Heavenly Bridge had the highest number of levels. The huge axe sect has the most people. The universe sect had the least. Universe, why universe? From the ancient times, the universe represented both space and time. This sect was termed the universe sect mainly, because it trained in both of the 2 biggest laws, space and time. As the 2 laws were the hardest to comprehend, being able to comprehend one was already incredibly difficult, much less both. However, when one actually comprehended both, his power would be terrifying. He passed the 3rd level. Passing the 3rd level, doesn't that mean he can go listen to classes already? I heard the number 1 from the latest genius battle, who has been in Primal Chaos City for less than a year, had actually passed the 3rd level. It's unbelievable. Normally, from the 1,000 geniuses from each genius battle, after training hard for 30 years in Primal Chaos City, only few managed to actually pass the 3rd level in the end. This Bolan, is far ahead of the others. Passing the 3rd level was a breakthrough. The moment one passes the 3rd level, it meant he had already grasped the tablet's basics. Only at this time did he have the right to go listen to the sect leaders speak. Like True Yang Emperor, or Black Mist Emperor, they all taught classes. Passing the 18th level, one could become an eternal member of Primal Chaos City. These people were eventually able to open one's own sub-sect and teach classes. Virtual Universe, Yuxian Mountain Primal Region Training Grounds. Wearing a bull helmet and carrying a huge axe, the strong-looking warrior Long Yun looked at the screen on his arm and was completely shocked. 3rd level, Bolan actually passed the 3rd level. How did he improve so quickly? Why? Long Yun couldn't help but grip his axe tightly. Crackling sounds could be heard as he grit his teeth and struggled. How come I can't even pass the 1st level? Why is the difference between me and Bolan so large? Long Yun was similar to Bolan in the fact that they both entered the primal region from this genius competition. Not long after entering Primal Chaos City, Bolin and Rong-jun took the spotlight, making Long Yun incredibly unhappy. It was because he was a member of the primal region. He was the number 2 of the competition. However, now even the absolute beginning region Rong-jun had passed the first level, and yet he hadn't. Hence, he had been working very hard. A few days ago, he had tried again. However, he still failed. Who would have thought that now Bolin actually even passed the 3rd level? Is the difference between us really that huge? Long Yun knelt down painfully, grabbing the floor. What? Bolin passed the 3rd level. This news almost simultaneously reached Rong-jun, Luo Feng, Jiangmo, Wuke and others. As they were spending large amounts of time within the city and outside hunting, they would bump into each other and get to know each other. When one acquired such news, he would immediately send it to inform the others. This Bolin has passed the 3rd level. I don't believe that I can't even pass the 1st. Wuke waved his fist and his consciousness entered the virtual universe network. 3rd level. Jiolai also entered the virtual universe network. The difference can't be that big. Jiangmo and Qian Shui, the siblings, both entered to try the heavenly bridge. I was originally preparing to wait till my 4 blades became 1. I wanted to try with full guarantee. Who would have thought Bolin would improve this quickly? Then I'll go try now. Luo Feng was affected by Bolin too. Gritting his teeth, he went to the heavenly bridge as well to try. A group of geniuses all training in Primal Chaos City, naturally they were all secretly competitive. When they first arrived and Bolin passed both the 1st and 2nd levels, everybody accepted it. After all, he was indeed very strong. However, now after 8 months, Bolin actually passed the 3rd level. One had to know 8 months earlier, he couldn't pass the 3rd level, meaning his improvement over these 8 months was huge. Also, each level on the heavenly bridge got increasingly difficult. Bolin's improvement had sparked the pride within the other geniuses. From the remaining surviving 913 geniuses, about 100 of them all chose to give it a shot after receiving the news. Virtual Universe, Heavenly Bridge. That beautiful island was enshrouded by mist, the watchman Bevan still dressed in his black star robe. At this time youth after youth appeared on the island. So many people. When Luo Feng appeared on the island, with a glance he spotted the Manka Prince along with other heaven and ground region, last phase region geniuses. 9 Universe Bridge, Luo Feng. Watchman Bevan smiled, go on, there's currently no one. Luo Feng couldn't help but smile. All the best, Luo Feng. Wuke waved his fist and shouted. You too. Luo Feng smiled. Let me inform you all, Jiolai from the same batch as you guys has just passed the 1st level. Watchman Bevan shouted, after Bolin and Rong-jun, he's the 3rd to have completed the 1st level. Luo Feng, who was just getting ready to fly towards the 1st level, was stunned. The surrounding group of youths were all stunned too. Jiolai. Hypnotist Jiolai. Back then, during the genius battle, his reputation was extremely high. Many had even regarded him as being able to make it to number 2. He was however defeated by madman Luo Feng, and was not able to enter the top 10. Hence he was dropped to the heaven and ground region. Even though he was in that region, strength was after all still strength. This time, he had passed the 1st level. Jiolai actually passed the 1st level. The group of youths couldn't accept it. Jiolai. Luo Feng snorted, becoming a beam of light and flying into the distant 9 Universe Bridge. Primal Chaos City was extremely vast, on a particular training balcony. Long Yun was almost like a wild bull, standing on the balcony, staring into the distant sky and muttering, Jiolai passed the 1st level, and he's only a heaven and ground region member. I'm from the primal region. However, he managed to pass the 1st level and I'm still stuck. Disarray, his mind and heart was in a complete mess. This made Long Yun completely unable to train. Pain. Rage. He couldn't accept it. All sorts of emotions were eating away within. Calm down. I need to stay calm. Ling Yun's gaze slowly focused. He said softly, I cannot let my primal region member status become my prison. I need to forget my status and work hard to improve step by step. Yes, just like before, Long Yun was originally a very low profile and steady person. But once his position rose swiftly due to becoming a powerful and high-ranked primal region member, and the fact that even the head of his guards was an Undying, even Undyings called him His Majesty, causing him to change. No matter, there's only 3 that have passed the 1st level currently, I'm not that far behind. Bolin, Rong-jun, Jiolai. Long Yun's gaze was filled with battle spirit. Long Yun frowned. When his consciousness entered the virtual universe network, he received the latest mail. Luo Feng had just passed the 1st level. The mail only had this one line, it was sent from Lancelot. Luo Feng. Long Yun stared wide-eyed. In his mind the images of the mad black-haired youth from before flashed. He was very clearly within the top 5 back then. His battle with Madman, accurately speaking, Madman didn't lose by his hands, but rather by the shrinking battle space. I definitely have to pass the first level, definitely. Long Yun's mind didn't have any other thoughts, just one: hard work. Jiu Shi, Luo Feng, they've all passed the first level. Within heaven and ground region in Yuseong Mountain, within a villa, Jiu Sai Luo violently squeezed the wine glass in his hands. Red wine flowed down from the smashed glass, landing on the floor. Jiu Sai Luo was a perfect genius. During the training space round, he was ranked overall number 2. And during the top 10 battle, he matched against Rong Jun. Their battle was the longest one of the lot. Finally he lost and he could only helplessly enter the heaven and ground region. However, even though he was in this region, his strength was still recognized. Jiu Sai Luo, Jiu Shi, they were all regarded as tragic geniuses in that competition, one losing to Rong Jun and the other to Luo Feng. Both ended up in the heaven and ground region. Jiu Shi, Luo Feng, they've all passed, why have I still failed? Jiu Sai Luo gripped the broken shards, firmly gripping, the shards became powder and flowed down. The geniuses were all proud. Just a genius competition wasn't enough to make everyone submit. Even if they failed before, it didn't mean that they would remain weak. 30 years in Primal Chaos City, this was the true period of laying their foundations. They would all risk it all in these 30 years, wanting to best the other geniuses. Virtual Universe, Absolute Beginning Villa 1136, in the 3rd level of the building. In the study. The first level, I passed it easily this time. Luo Feng swiftly opened his laptop, his mood happy. The earlier battle in the first level wasn't as bad as he thought it would be. That similar opponent on the Dark Cloud shuttle, using the Nanshan armament, didn't unleash the Heavenly Blade formation. He only relied on the 3 powerful golden blades to battle. In truth, even though Luo Feng could control the 3 blades into one, they still weren't as perfect as the opponent's flexibility. Luckily he had the power of the blade domain. Its power was boosted greatly, allowing him to kill his opponent immediately. As for the second level, he gave it a shot, but was defeated in one blow. Treasure Trove. Luo Feng opened the Treasure Trove mail and chose techniques. Too troublesome. Luo Feng had no patience to browse slowly, immediately entering the words floating blood. On the laptop screen the floating blood manual's introduction appeared. Floating blood technique, exchangeable for 800 points, primal region 70%, absolute beginning 80%, heaven and ground 905, and last phase full price. Very well. Luo Feng smiled, I'll buy it. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.